So, finished my day in London. It is 6:30 in the evening. I've just picked my car up from the station and now I'm just driving home. So I'm going to pick up where I left off earlier with the whole sort of retrospective view on the Apple announcements. So I think we basically got most of the way through the iPhones, and now let's talk about iWatch. This is a really difficult one because I really feel like I need to try it before I place any kind of judgment on it whatsoever. I'm not a fan of wearable technology as yet. I've tried various different ones, the Sony smartwatch, the Galaxy Gears. I've tried quite a few actually, and I've even had my hands on Google Glass as well for a week or two. And with all of them, I just found that they were complete and utter gimmicks. I wasn't impressed with any of them really, to be honest, especially Google Glass. I mean, I just found them all completely, I don't know, they just didn't really have that much of a purpose. So it sort of made me force myself into using them rather than wanting to. Battery life is an issue, and yeah, I've just not really been that impressed. So I need to get my hands on this iWatch first. One thing I do like is, and I think I said it yesterday, is that they've gone for the high-end market. To me, I don't like the round Moto 360 since I've seen it. The bezels are too big, the build quality is not great, and Dom, aka Max Mixin, even tweeted out this morning that it's really laggy and slow. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be a great device at all. And also, I'm a pixel man. I mean, I like to have more pixels, and in this situation, I think it's more important than ever because it's such a small screen. So to go from a square screen to a round screen in terms of watches is absolutely, to me, a bit of a nightmare, because already it's a tiny screen, and if you are making it a round screen, you're losing even more pixels in the space that you've got. So yeah, I like the fact it's square. I love square watches as well. I love all of the kind of I forget the name now, but I've got a couple myself anyway. And I also like a watch to be a nice kind of smart object, and with the Apple ones giving you all the different choices, I think it's going to be nice, although we're yet to find out how much the gold one's going to cost. They do a rose gold one, and as you guys know, I am a huge fan of rose gold. I'm not a fan of yellow gold, but I love rose gold. So there's been some rumours that that's actually going to cost thousands. I hope not, because I think that would be a bit insane. Because if you buy a watch, you're going to have to replace a gadget watch. You're going to have to replace it every year or 2 years to keep up to date with technology. So to invest that much and then have to replace it a year or two later doesn't make a huge amount of sense. But we'll see, because at the moment that's just kind of speculation. Apple Pay I love. I think that is such a great idea. It really needed to be implemented properly. Yesterday I said that because Apple are doing it, everyone will buy into it, and some people bitched about that, but it's just a fact, it's just the way it is. When Apple put their weight behind something, it happens, and that's just the way it is. Like it or not, it is how it is, and that is exactly what will happen. They've already got Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, and another one, Discover. So that's pretty much most of the cards that are out there that are going to all of a sudden start supporting this already. And it will just happen, I'm telling you. Wait and watch this space. Anyway, that's it from me today, guys. I'm going to go home and chill out, watch some TV shows. Oh my god, Sons of Anarchy is back. Woohoo! Also, Boardwalk Empire is back. Woohoo! Can't wait to watch those. So I will be back with you guys tomorrow. Have yourselves a great evening. Peace. Hey guys, how you all doing today? It's actually fairly late in the afternoon. It is 2 o'clock. I'm on my way to a meeting in London which starts at 3 o'clock, which is a really inconvenient time to start a meeting in London, because obviously you can't really do anything during the day because you're sort of waiting to go there, and then you go there, do your meeting, and then when you come out it's rush hour, and then it takes forever to get home, and there's loads of people and traffic. But anyway, enough whinging from me. Little bit of sort of retrospective thought about the Apple event yesterday. For years and years and years, I've been pretty disappointed with most iPhone releases. Last year was probably one of the best ones because we got Touch ID, which I think it's revolutionised my mobile life, if you like. The fact that I don't have to put in numbers and don't have to remember numbers, and I just touch the thing and away you go, and it works flawlessly for me. I mean, it works 75 times out of 80, I would say, something like that. You know, that is a complete revolution for me. Also, the actual speed of the iPhone 5S is fantastic as well. It really did make a big bump, I thought, from the iPhone 5. So last year I was quite pleased, but every year before that I was bitterly disappointed, to be honest. Now, this year round, kind of immediate thoughts were, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, and I'm quite pleased with everything that's come out of it. And sometimes you sort of sleep on it, and then the next day you start to think about it and you change. Well, to be honest, I have changed very slightly in the fact that I'm probably more pleased with it than I thought I was. Finally, they've listened to us and we've got bigger screens. There's no more moaning about screen size anymore. We've also got two different form factors. You know, we've got the 4.7 and the 5.5. So for those people that prefer one or the other, they've now got choice. Whereas before we've never had choice. We've only ever had one size phone kind of to fit everyone. So I think from that perspective, that's a huge move forward for Apple, and we've been asking for this for a long time, and I think it's sort of only right really to show them a bit of credit for doing this. And if you listen to the Apple people, they're basically saying that the reason they didn't do bigger screens before was because they didn't feel they could get a high enough quality screen. Now, I'm not talking resolution, because resolution is only a very small part of a screen. You know, the viewing angles, the contrast, the speed, loads and loads of other things are way more important than resolution. And Apple's screens are always fantastic, always. The iPhone screen is still right up there with some of the very best screens on the market today. Even though we get all these 2K screens now and 1080p screens, the iPhone screen is still right up there with those on everything other than resolution. And it's not far off in terms of pixel density, because obviously it's a small screen. Now, with these new ones, the screens are meant to be even better quality. The Plus is going to have a 1080p screen, which really is kind of just catching up with everyone else. The 4.7 inch is going to have a slightly lower resolution screen, which is disappointing. But like I say, it's the quality of the screen that's more important than anything else. Now, talking of kind of resolutions, that sort of moves you on to the camera. A lot of people sort of like, oh, why 8 megapixel again? Sorry, just got to concentrate. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, why 8 megapixel again? Well, I'll tell you why 8 megapixel again, because A, it keeps the file sizes smaller, and B, you can actually get much better quality from a smaller sensor camera. And that's what they've got. That's what they're going for, probably especially in low light, because you can have bigger individual pixels. So I'm not underwhelmed with the bump in camera megapixels. A lot of people, they're like, oh, well, couldn't we have at least 12 or 13? Just for the fact of saying they want more, not really understanding the reason why they want more. Yes, you can't crop it as much as you might want to, but how often do you really crop an iPhone image? Probably not that often. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. They've obviously made some improvements there as well. 240 frames per second is absolutely incredible on a phone, and 1080p 60 frames per second is a nice option as well. And in fact, talking of sensor sizes, if you look at a lot of the top DSLRs, the Nikon D4, my camera, the Canon 1D, C, X, whatever one you want to kind of talk about, the actual sensor sizes aren't huge. They're 14, 16, you know, 18 megapixels, and we've got other cameras out there that go way up into the 30s and 40s, and yet the very top of the line ones keep the megapixels on a fairly kind of low figure. So you can kind of align it with that, if you like. That's the way they keep the quality high. So yeah, that's my kind of sort of retrospective thoughts on iPhone 6. Obviously there's more to discuss around some of the other features, Apple Pay, and also the iWatch. But I've arrived at my destination, so I will probably pick that up with you a little bit later.